Well, hello and welcome to Conscious Gatherers. My name is Beverly Thompson and I'm here with AJ Royce.
Hello, everyone.
Yes, welcome. We both sound a little funny, but hopefully we're going to get through this just fine. Yeah, the bug is caught both of us. So hopefully you can hear AJ Royce okay. And if not, we'll have to figure something out. Okay, this is the season 6 starting today. It's like, wow. So we're starting in our 6th year, and this is episode 137. Today's date is January the 9th, 2025. So here we go. Like, what a year. And Royce, I'm just going to start off saying this because I received this the other day, and it was 2025 year of revelations. And I thought, well, we've been getting that for years. What do we mean, years of revelations? So, uh, so, but then as I was thinking about it before the podcast, it was like, well, it's put revelations in all caps, and that changes it. So I thought, okay, I get it because tell you what, things are coming out left and right, and it's been pretty amazing. We both did receive our insights, and of course, they correlate. So, Royce, do you have you want to jump in here?
Sure. Did you want me to read mine?
Well, let's first talk about we're sending lots of um, love energy over to the California. They're going through some pretty tough times in the Los Angeles area with the fires. So, some pretty horrific sites where that looks like good parts of the area is just leveled. So,
yes, and you think of it's not just humans that are being affected. It's the animals as well. All the life. And it's not just the wildfires, but in southern part of California, there was such a bad windstorm that it took the roof off of someone that I know, their dwelling place. So there's a lot of things going on right now, and with the snow and ice storms, people without power, and on top of the assault from the hurricanes. So it's been quite a season.
Yeah, it sure has. In fact, where we're at in South Carolina, um, we're expecting a snow and ice storm starting tomorrow morning. So
yes, hopefully it'll just be snow.
yeah, I'm south of Royce, so we may get a little bit of ice where I'm at, and you just don't go anywhere because the roads get, they're very slick here, and
yeah, nobody can do anything in the ice.
It's tough. So you just stay home until it'll be up in the 40s on at least the 40 on Saturday, so it'll be melted. So we can all wait. So except for emergency vehicles, of course. So okay, Royce. Um, since we just talked about the fires, why don't you go ahead and give us your insight? And by the way, when we talk about our insights, this is information that comes to us. And so the information is probably, when I say probably, it's usually from our higher selves, our soul self, God's self, whatever terminology you want to use. And we do have a lot of communication with other worldly beings, so to speak. And but on this occasion, I feel that it's really from you want to call it a higher aspect of ourselves. So um, so we're sharing what we receive. So use discernment and everything that you hear. but there's so much going on. So you're probably getting a little overwhelmed, and in fact, that information came out and what I got. When I say I got my insight. So anyway, go ahead, Royce.
Okay, and this Bev and I did our insights this time well before the fires started in California.
Okay.
So I mentioned that for a good reason, because of what is said in the beginning of mine. I found it to be really interesting.
Yeah.
So here we go.
All right.
Stand tough, stand strong. Opposing forces taking aim at the forces working for the greater good are finalizing their last effort to tear down that which is impenetrable to the forces of evil. Excuse me. Just a minute.
Go ahead. Yeah, we'll give Royce a rest for a moment. So tell me when you're ready. All right. Well, she'll be back in just a moment. So, and we're both have that cough, and I just can't. Well, put it this way: I'm not sure how to mute myself. I do see a microphone, but I would be cutting that voice off too. So I don't want to do that. Okay. Are you ready?
I'm back, I think.
All right. All right. Yeah. Okay. Go ahead and repeat the last sentence if you would.
Okay.
Okay.
The forces, let me see.
Go ahead and mute yourself if you'd like. This, all of the things that are going on right now, it's like incredible. And one thing that I was looking up today, because of what Donald Trump has been talking about, and one of those things is the combination of, or having Canada become a part of the United States. Well, back in February of 2022, so almost 3 years ago, Royce and I did receive that information. Excuse me. And it says there will be, I'm reading some of the stuff that I wrote down 3 years ago. There will be a country restructuring, and it will be a combination of the United States and Canada as one nation. And I was wondering how all this was going to come about. And so when I heard about Canada being our 51st state, or however it's going to be structured, I thought, now I know, because of the information. I think we received it a couple times, Royce. So it's interesting. And the other thing that we received at that time, about 3 years ago, was some current states within the United States will combine with changes in the borders. And again, I didn't get a date when this would happen, but I think it's all upon us right now. So, Royce, I'm going to have you, if you don't mind, to start over again on your insight, if you're ready.
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, I'm going to make another stab at it.
All right. Maybe.
Yeah, maybe.
All right, we're going to do our best.
Yes. Stand tough, stand strong. Opposing forces taking aim at the forces working for the greater good are finalizing their last effort. Sorry.
All right, she'll be back in a moment. I know it's hard to talk and then the coughs come up, but there is obviously something going around right now. People have this respiratory cold flu, and we both caught it, and not sure how. Um, so whatever it is, I guess it doesn't matter, and letting it take things out of our body we no longer need.
Yeah.
So, all right, go ahead.
Okay. Are finalizing their last effort to tear down
Oh,
that which is impenetrable to the forces of evil. It is the final phase, the extinguishing of the last burning embers of a great fire, whose flames were invisible, but whose effects were as the forked tongue of a viper. Be forewarned that the viper's words and works are two-faced, one side showing itself as that of a friend, but the other bearing the face of a true viper that it is, whose intention is to assault and eventually abolish the forces for the greater good. But of course, this is a futile attempt, for you cannot destroy that which is good, that which is light, just as you cannot cage the wind. You cannot destroy the power of the lion, and you cannot overpower the light with the darkness. Love leads the way before us into a bright new future. For it was out of love which sprang forth our past as well as our present. Let us learn and let us remember that it is love, and only love, that leads the way.
Perfect. Now my turn to cough. Excuse me. Well, thank you. I appreciate your getting through that. I know it's a little hard on the throat, but love is the only leads the way. And I think you not quite sure the words that you use, but the light consumes the dark, something along those lines.
Yeah, the darkness cannot overpower the light.
Yeah, there's no way. So keep that in mind. All right. Well, thank you. Appreciate your sharing that
My
with
struggle.
us. And the struggle, yeah. So we definitely could hear you struggle through that. So, we may, if you want to mute, go right ahead, and I'll continue on. And then if you're a little stronger later, as through this podcast, then you can come back on. So, all right. I'm going to share what I received, and this was a couple days ago, and it goes along with some things that I have in my third book. So I'll hold that up in just a moment, and but I'm going to first share the insight that I received. Okay. Excuse me. Okay. A new era is upon you. Mountains of information are now being released. Boy, has it, especially in the last couple of days. Take in what you can and leave the rest for another time. It's a lot for a lot of people that are not, that haven't been with the what I term more awakened community, that they haven't seen what many of us have seen. And so even though many of us have been in the this category of, if you want to call it as such, of awakening, star seeds, whatever terminology you want to use, Um, um, we know what's been going on, and um, in some of it still is a little bit overwhelming. All right,
Yeah, yeah.
yeah. All right, I'm going to continue on. Human life is changing dramatically. It will never go back to the way it once was. Stay focused on your own life, your thoughts, and emotions. Upheavals will continue, then the calm will come. Much like a storm has passed. Hmm. However, the storm is here to bring about an end of control and manipulation. Those who do not see this as such will soon realize what has been going on. The more calmness we all maintain, the quicker the storm will pass.
Mhm.
Yeah, a lot said there, right?
Yes.
Countries are falling as their regimes are removed. What's happened with Canada, what's happened with, well, UK is having a lot of problems, having problems in Germany. All around the world, there's a lot of issues. But let me continue on. So the countries are falling and their regimes are being removed. Let them fall. You will, you will rebuild, and your structures will be most magnificent. This is much beyond your physical structures, such as your buildings and dwellings. It is beyond your current automobiles, trains, and planes. It is a movement not known to most humanity. The human force field is making changes. And I'll go into more of the force field for you all in a moment. Um, the human body is actually taking in more light, talking about our own force field, meaning an energy frequency not yet experienced by most humans on this planet Earth. Remember, all is built into your human form, yet not activated, so to speak, until the last few years. It's happening now. Yes, there have been beings who migrated to Earth to showcase their wares as well as reap what planet Earth has to share. Many have left, and others are living in remote areas on Earth's surface and also in Earth's bowels. A lot of underground civilizations. They are now making themselves known. This is a grand awakening. So that humanity is really realizing the depth of their beingness. They also realize their galactic friends are here and showing themselves. More open communication with many beings will be realized this year. So, we think of the drone, the so-called drones, but it's so much bigger than drones. And our galactic friends, yeah, I would have to say that drones is child's play to them. Um, and I think a lot of the drones are our own. And also to get people used to it. And also there might be some nefarious things going on as well as benevolent things going on with a lot of people seeing some of these things that are flying in the sky. But believe me, their ships are showing up, and a lot more will be showing up. So, and I'm talking about spaceships. And again, many of them are our own. We have advanced technology, and a lot of people in the world have no idea what we really do have at this now moment.
Yeah, we've been working on it for a long time.
Yeah, we have, and that's with our galactic friends' help. All right, a little bit more on force field and some of the things that we're going to get into. And I took it out of this. This is my third book. I'm going to just hold it up this way. All right, Mystery of the Universes, book 3, and and one of my writings is called Optical Screening. It was written in 2010. So it's amazing now what's in this book that is happening now. I don't know why it's amazing because a lot of when I wrote when a lot of this information came forth years ago. And same with you, Royce. Boy, I mean, we thought we understood it, but now we understand it even more. Yeah. All right. All right. And what drew me to optical screening on our last podcast, Royce, we talked about, well, what was coming to me was the eye of creation. And it just stuck with me.
Uh-huh.
And I had mentioned it. And so, and I thought, I'm pretty sure I wrote about that. And I'm thinking one of my writings for the eye of creation. Tell you what, I got 240 writings. I don't remember a lot of it. Some of it I do, but it's just a lot of information in my books as well as in Royce's books. So just a boatload of information for you all. If you so I recommend getting all of our books. And there's 2 from Royce and 3 from me. Excuse me. So anyway, the eye of creation is mentioned in this writing called Optical Screening. And so I'm going to share some of what this writing has to say. This says, through the many lives of humans has the game been played out to reinforce the magnitude of the human experience. So think about that. Reinforce the magnitude. That's all of our human experiences. They're huge. We talked about that in the last podcast. They're absolutely huge. And everybody here is extremely important. So remember that. There's no such thing as a lowly human. You know, those of us at least have souls. Um, uh, and there are some that don't, more robotic type people, but I don't want to get into that right now. But anyway, the human experience is what our souls are experiencing in these bodies. All right, let me continue. And in this changing happening now, as the human takes more of his light energy into his physical vessel to bring about a total change in how he manifests through the eyes of God. Be assured that this transition is within the heart of Creator to bring about a maximum force of endurance to sublimate the human experience. The new playing field is wide open, ready and willing for the human to make his grand entrance into maintaining a unique structure, a grand strand in the worlds of form. The human has been a galactic human and is realizing the achievements made through this force field to understand that a new game is on the blocks. Interesting, the word game is used, but it's to understand the magnitude of our human experience. And back to the blocks. The blocks are building blocks, lifting the soul to new points of endurance and magnification. Yes, a new day has been born, and humanity has and is being born through their creation efforts. So, man, okay, think of all that has gone on before in our seeming linear timeline. We've talked about timelines before, but you know, most of us operate on a linear timeline. Not as much anymore, but I still do. Man has come from the depths of discomfort, the mere survival mentality, to one of utmost brilliance in its progression into new life forms of exquisite beauty. To know and understand this process is coming clear in the hearts and minds of man. The screening that is taking place, the new stage is being set up. Man knows he is the writer, the producer, and the actors in his play. Now, I want to explain that because do we know that? We're beginning to know that. You know, we create our reality, but deep within, we know it. And so what has been subconscious is now coming up within our, what we term our outer consciousness, or it's inner consciousness, but not subconscious, if that makes sense. All right. From this point of perception, the activity called daily life is changing into a new art form, and that form is the knowledge of production through the heart with a whole new paradigm of understanding. This understanding is paving a way for creation to see itself in new living color. The initial blocks placed before man's eyes are now being removed to open up a grander force within the new physical body. So the body is taking on what appears to be new features. However, these features have been tried in other physical forms, yet not by the earth human. The creative aspect is through the internal eyes of manifestation, the connective tube of force field energy, the void of all existence, yet is all existence. Through this internal eye of God will structure in the physical be manifest by the abilities present within the newly structured human. So the eye within is made up of building blocks that are used in creative ways to bring in new technologies in the biological system. All life is vibrating, a force of the divine work through the eye within each and every soul living on the earth as well as the earth herself. A most magnificent creature. All life on earth has been a joint venture with Lady Gaia, that's Earth, the soul of the earth, and all beings who have taken part with their physical bodies, with their physical lives to live in and on this planet. So it's a most magnificent day, this day of such a wondrous feat. So there's more to it, but I think that's enough. Um, it just says, this force field, new building blocks, it's already within us, but we're being activated. Which is already within is being activated. And so we're using these building blocks in our manifestations on this earth's plane. Hope this makes sense. So, if we wait for somebody else to do it, uh, but we, how do I say that? Don't wait. Go ahead and think of how you want to manifest a most beautiful life, and others can join you if they so desire, or not. But you're going to find out that all of humanity is going to be coming together a lot closer than what we have been, because Royce said in her insight today that this is the final phase. And I forget how you finished that sentence, but Royce, but I thought it was well said.
The last of that sentence is the extinguishing of the last burning embers of a great fire whose flames were invisible, but whose effects were as the forked tongue of a viper.
Wow. Even though the fires in California were quite visible, but it's just interesting that this came up, a day or so before the fires. So interesting. So, all right. Do you have more to add, Royce?
I was just thinking about, us as beings of light. It's not only the realizing of who and what we are melded together with a human body, but it's the raising of the vibration of the body itself to create that as a being of light as well. So it's like a coming at it from both sides, the spirit of what we are and the effect that we're having on physical body, raising up the vibration and by what we do with this body, how we take care of it, what we feed it, we actually change the chemistry so that these bodies become a mechanism which is self-creating light.
Yeah.
So it's like a light being within a being of light, you know.
Well, yeah. Yeah. I was going to say, remember that. I still have a lot of people say, I'll wait for God, whatever God tells me. But remember, this is me. You may not agree with me. That's okay. So that indeed is God, but it's that God within that, that's bringing this up within you. So it's a choice of words, but listen to it. So then, things aren't going to be done for you necessarily unless you ask. Yes, there are a lot of beings out there that are there to help and assist us, but they're not going to do it all for us. Otherwise, why be here? That's the human magnification, the human experience, and we're going to be able to see that, and it's happening now, and we're going to have the ability to travel onto other planets and dimensions at ease. And in fact, we already do that. Some of us do that within our thoughts, and we can just project ourselves. And Royce and I, we do that quite a bit. And there have been a lot of our militaries have been to many other planets, and there are some servicemen, okay, are those in the military are starting to speak up and admit that, yeah, we've been to Jupiter, we've been to the moons of Jupiter, we've been here, we've been there, and they've been using these stargates. And I was hearing somebody talk about some of the stargates, one being in Egypt, which probably doesn't surprise Royce whatsoever, her closeness with Egypt, and then also in the bowels of, and I say bowels inside of Mount Hermon, which has been getting in the news lately. So I think a lot of countries knows this exists. Some of the nefarious ones know it exists. However, they will not be able to use it. So it's the benefit of all mankind, and we're going to be, the feats that we have in front of us are going to be absolutely magnificent. And we talked about, we're going to go into that golden era. So, okay, Royce.
Yeah, I don't have anything else to say.
Okay, all right. Well, thank you, you all, for listening. I'm not sure what I did. I may have done something on my end. No, I think we do have 2 listeners right now. Are there any questions that you have that are listening? And if so, just put it in the chat, and I'll be able to see it. I'm waiting. So, and thank you for the thumbs up. Appreciate that too. So I assume you can hear Royce okay. I would appreciate a thumbs up for that one. You can just do that in the chat or just say yes. Oh, not yet. All right, and maybe somebody they're listening on their phone may not be able to access their keyboard as readily as I can access mine right now.
Yeah.
All right, I'm just going to say yes. All right, well, thank you all. We'll be back. Normally our days on Tuesday, and we expect to be well and feeling great in the next couple of weeks. And you think a few things are going to happen in the next 2 weeks? Yes. So if it gets overwhelming for you, you can back off a bit and then stay focused on your own thoughts and emotions. Again, the calmer you are, the faster this storm will pass, because those of the, I use the words dark ones, the DS, do use a lot of fear, and the loosh from the fear, and it feeds them. And we're saying, no, we're not going to feed you anymore. So anyway, just remember to stay calm as we go through this time. So thank you all, and we love you. And do you have some last words that you can get out, Royce?
I'm just so grateful to have been able to connect it in. I hope that what I said was able to have been heard, because it's important stuff that we're saying now. So I just want everyone to know that I'm right there with you. I love you, and you are in my heart. And I pray for everyone, because this is such an important time to be here doing what it is that we're doing. And some ask, I don't know what I'm doing. I don't understand what is my purpose. Well, you're here. You're doing it. You're holding up your end, whether you know you are or not. So thank you so much for being here and for staying as long as you have. I'm so grateful to be here with you. And I just love you and look forward to talking with you again.
All right. Thank you. Beautifully said. All right. Thank you. And we'll be back hopefully in less than 2 weeks. I'm sure it'll be on the 21st of January. So until then, stay calm and focus on yourself and assist others too. Thank you so much. Good night.
Good night.